Okay, another video. It's 12:13 on the 2nd of October. It's my mother's birthday today. So I'll see my mother later. I'll be seeing my mother later. My mother wants a takeout. I'm not sure if it's tonight or tomorrow. So that's what my mother wants to do for her birthday, is a takeout. So we'll do that later. And I got pain au chocolat and I have coffee. Right, well, I need to determine which platform this is going on first. I was going to do a Facebook video, but I haven't done a video for the YouTube channel for a while, so I think I need to do one for the YouTube channel. Because I've spent the almost last month, I did a college course. This was Skills for Work. It's like an introduction, it's a business training course that's designed to get people into meaningful work. But it was different to anything else I've ever done, and it was really, really, really good. It was really good. It was run by CavC for Business rather than the main CavC college, which is Cardiff and Vale College, which is a very large college. Whereas in the main college building, where they tend to have a lot of younger students, this was done in here for CavC for Business, which is like corporate training and that sort of thing. CavC for business training, corporate training building. So it's next door. They still had a lot of young students in there, but not as many as the main building. It's not as busy as the main building. But I really enjoyed the course. It was a challenge. It was a challenge to go there. And the course had changed my outlook. So I need to work on being more open and extrovert. But at the same time, I need to maintain my own personality and my own boundaries. So I want to try and improve myself and be better. You know what? It's October the 2nd, and it's still quite warm, unusually, so I'm going to crack the windows a bit. I got the sunroof up, and I have put the cover, that's what this is. It's the cover for the thing. I don't have a sliding cover because the car is, the roof's too small for a sliding cover, so it's a cover you physically take out. That's one of the parts of the car I don't have. There's meant to be a baggie for this that goes in, and I don't have a baggie. We also have a solar panel. I've had this for years, and I should have kept it in the car while we had the hot summer. I got a little amp meter plugged up to it, and I've got a small power bank, which I got the other day. It's currently 3 milliamps going into this small power bank. There's plenty of, but I've got the power bank because sometimes when I'm using this phone, it runs out of power. So, and I keep losing my other power banks. The other power banks are just too small, or they don't run low power. Some of the low power things like the Arduinos I got. This one should. Although this one, I tried it with the string of LED lights, and it doesn't power the string of LED lights, but it does power the Arduinos, which is okay. Pain au chocolat. Right, the college course. There's about 20 of us on the course. Not everyone seems to go through it. I still haven't completed all the assessment work, but I'm not comfortable with doing the assessment work. I'm not comfortable doing the written assessment work. Maybe I should open my coffee first, because it gives me something to talk, because it makes me talk a bit. This one says, do not shake, doesn't it? No need to shake. Whereas the other ones, you've got to shake. Yeah, with the car videos, I used to always do the waterfront on the Nap, or on the car terrace, which is just down there, or Penarth waterfront. I won't be able to do that this year because now they started charging for parking up there. So I've got to find some other places to go and do the car. I do have LED lights, which is another reason why I've got the extra power bank. I've got LED lights in the bag. I'd like to buy some more, actually, so I can at least illuminate me when I'm sat in the car. I'm supposed to be talking about the college course, actually. I've also got notes to do one of those talk about random subject for 3 minutes videos. I've got to do that for YouTube as part of practice, being open and honest practice. It's a bubble inside. It should be fresh. Yeah, it's smaller. I wanted the bigger one, not this one. I wanted the bigger one, but I couldn't find a bigger one. Really nice refreshing coffee. Yeah, I got assessment work to do, so I should really go to the library or go to Costa and go sit in Costa and do that writing work. I don't like writing assessments. I hate writing assessments. It's not handwritten, even though it's not handwritten. I hate writing assessments. Just hated it in school. I hated it I hate it in college. I just hate it. I'm glad they didn't force us to sit in a class and write it. You know, we did have classes where we sat and wrote, but we didn't have to submit it then. And utterly hate writing assignments. You know, it gives you some vague question and you've got to write a large paragraph and make sure you've got all facts in it. It just seems like a needless question. Needless. Anyway. The problem with eating in the car is I get stuff stuck in my tooths, and because I've got ugly tooths as it is, and I'm worried about it appearing on the picture. It's like I had a lump by here, like a little spot on my nose. I didn't notice in the last video I did, which wasn't on this platform. It was on another platform a couple of weeks ago. Earlier this week, I had a spot on my nose. I was like, I didn't notice it until I was editing it. It just looked terrible. I shaved this morning and I came up here already, and I thought, I still got a bit of hair there. So I went all the way back home just to get rid of it and come all the way back up here. Just worried. I got to concentrate on it. I mean, if this is going public, I got to concentrate on my appearance. It was a bother last week, and I tried to dress up smartly every day going into. I wore my black shirts every single day. I think I got a number of black shirts. I did change them. But I noticed last week in the college course I was putting on weight. I think it's for a number of factors. Because I'm not walking in the mornings now. Because now you've got to pay to park, where I was always parking the car when I was going for the early morning walks. Doing a 2-mile walk in the morning. And just doing a 2-mile walk from my house they're just boring walks. So I don't do it. There's no encouragement for the walk. So I've got to find somewhere else to walk to and from. I mean, I could come up here. Yeah, I could do this in the early morning, come up here in the early morning and walk down and back and try and get it to the 2-mile mark. I mean, when I was walking on the island, it was just short of 2 miles. Though it didn't feel like that because there's nice views and there's a nice early morning when it was quiet. And then in the college course, because I'm worried about stuff sticking to my tooths and I'm worried about my appearance. So I ended up buying sweets, and I ended up settling on a flapjack, a cookie and green tea every day for lunch. £5.20 in the cafe there. I've just taken a hexafenadine, so I shouldn't be scratching so much and dealing with my face. I've just taken a hexafenadine. Because I've been rubbing my eyes again. Hexafenadine is antihistamine, allergy tab. Is there like a capacitor powering those lights, and the capacitor is just going down? Or is there an actual active timer on there? I assume it's a capacitor, because there's a cheaper way of doing it. Yeah, the college course was good. But I've put on weight, and I noticeably put on weight. And I did get the confidence to go into Cardiff and twice, one for looking for clothes and actually buy myself a set of trousers, which I'm wearing quite now, and they're really good, they're really comfy. I'll have to get another set. But again, it's cost me money. And I also bought a set of earbuds to go into Cardiff, so noise cancelling earbuds. They're not very good, but they're better than nothing. I don't know where they are. I thought I had them in the car. Maybe they fell down when I used the brakes. I don't know where they are now. Doesn't matter. Coffee. It's bothersome when people are walking past, but that's something I've got to get over. It doesn't matter. I can still talk when people are walking past. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I've said before in videos, again, I don't know which, probably all platforms, just get really upset when you see people in couples and people in relationships, thinking it's something I can never experience. I'm meant to be talking about the college course, but now I'm thinking about last night. I became really emotional last night. I've been, trying to keep all my emotions and everything in check over the last 4 weeks in going to the college. Really emotional, loneliness. Now the videos come on, I can't seem to... Now I'm recording video, I can't. Yeah, I enjoyed the college course. It's made me think about going back into full-time education. It's a possible path, but then there's risks and positives, but there's risks to everything. I mean, I'm kind of... There's positives and negatives to everything. I need to choose a future path. I thought of rolling a dice, because I keep dice on me all the time as decision makers. Keep a set of dice on me. I thought about just rolling a dice and leaving it down to the dice. But then I had a discussion. There's nothing. My mind is going it's like in all sorts of different directions. I'm not sure what to say first. I should say this as a story. Yeah, I gotta practice my speech and speaking, and I can say this as a story, and it'd be better to say it as a story rather than... Yeah, we did a work experience day. I did Company's House. There was only like 5-6 of us out of the 20 which were going to Company's House, and we were personally selected, either people who had been chosen to do, or stated a preference to go to Company's House rather than go to the other two places, which is Admiral and Principality Stadium. So I ended up going to Company's House. And there was mostly slideshows, because obviously you couldn't do much work there. But going into the building, which I've driven past a few times, and actually seeing inside, it was wonderful. It was great. And I got to take the car as well. That was good. It's got a nice reception in there as well. Nice modernist reception. Some more reception should be as nice as that. But I'm not saying this as a story, am I? I should learn to say things as a story. Yeah, lunchtime. I'm looking forward to lunchtime, because I think the cafeteria there is really nice. Though the workflow was a bit confusing, because you've got to go around the back and then you've got to pay at the tills at the side. And the person at the till was the same person who's doing the coffee machine, so I was a bit strange, because the coffee machine and the till were on different desks. I'm getting distracted by airplanes now. No. Yeah, it's really nice. It's a really nice cafeteria there. Cafeteria, Chocodor, what's that? Canteen. Canteen just make... When I say canteen, when it comes to workplaces, I think of the old docks canteen down on the dock. You know, something that's really shabby and falling apart. Yeah, that's what I think of. When you say work canteen, it just makes me think of something that's shabby and falling apart. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the canteen in Company's House. Yeah, it's really nice. It's downstairs. It's really nice. There's an outdoor seating area, and the tables are long tables though, where people sit together, and that's a bit uncomfortable. But I sat on my own on the end. And one of the tutor I got on with, I don't get on with all tutors really. Though I was a bit apprehensive of the more dominant tutors. But he sat next to me, and we had a little bit of a chat. Again, what did I buy? Bought a sandwich and another cookie, or was it a flapjack or something? Yeah, I really like those. I was talking about how this college course has made me question my future. Maybe I could go back into education. I would like to. I mean, I really want that level of education and that qualification, but I'm not really willing to spend that much time in my life for something which I'm really going to struggle with, and it's not going to benefit me much. And I said how I'll write a list of all my options, and how I carry dice on me. Like I carry dice on me. Dice. I'm always worried about losing them. There's meant to be 7 in there. 7 dice. And I said how I carry the dice on me. I've got a second set of dice which are on my desk, so I've always got decision-making tools around me. And I said I'll make a list, I'll roll the dice, and then that's the one I can commit to. Will, the tutor, he sort of agreed, but then he said, do that. But before you roll the dice, take a note of your feelings. What are you thinking? Because at that moment, just before you roll the dice, you'll have a hope that something comes up, or you'll have a preference for some over the other options. So even if the dice comes out with the wrong option, you know the answer of which one you prefer. Yeah, that's interesting, that's interesting. But I suppose you can do the same without rolling dice and just putting enough thought into it. But then there are pros and cons. I want to go back into education. There's all sorts of different things I want to do. I don't have enough life left. And I got things, I got to take my parents places. My grandmother's, 92 years old now, and I want to take my grandmother out places. I want my grandmother to be proud of me. I want my grandmother to see me with a family of my own. That's something my grandmother's not seen, ever. And if we go and spend 4 years in university, yeah, I became really emotional last night, just thinking about her. What can I do? It doesn't matter what. That's the priority, isn't it? Whichever path I take has to be one where I can see her, get to know her a bit. Get to know her. But what path is that? So I can still keep fighting to try and get my old job back, which I would like my old job. I wish I had my old job back. I've already talked to, got contacts from a legal company, because we were talking with them in the college, and maybe I can pursue a legal thing to try and get my old job back. I don't want compensation, I want the old job back. Or I can try and go for another job. During the college, I was encouraged several times, when people saw my CVs and my experience, they were saying, you could do a much better job than you think you can. But I can't. I don't feel I'm good enough. I'd rather have a part-time job where the work is quite simple. I want my old job back. But then that's an option, so that's a number of options already. I can go back to university, or what can I do in university? I can do BA Nihongo. I can do that for 4 years. That's something I should have done 15 years ago. When Noriko, when I stopped seeing my language tutor, that's something I should have done immediately. I should have just gone and done that. Who knows what life would be like? But then I wouldn't have found out about her. And there's other negatives to going into university. It's not just the lack of money to take my parents' places. I mean, I got a car that needs to be restored. I'd like to have a second car with extra seats in it so that I can take my parents' places and grandparent and my mother's friends, because my mother's friends need lifts as well. I don't mind. I wish I had a better car to take it. But when it comes to the university course, you've got these examinations. And I said earlier, I hate writing. I mean, I love writing, but I like writing my story, or I like writing factual things that I'm writing for myself. For these videos, I don't script these videos, though there will be others I'm doing in future which will be scripted. I enjoy that sort of writing, but I hate answering vague questions in assessments for the college courses. I just hate it. I don't think I would enjoy the language assessments unless I was really good at it. But then I can already do levels 5 and 4 in that particular course. I can already do that. Because I did 3 years with a personal tutor. I can already do levels 4 and 5. So that's probably the first year of a 4-year course which was already done. I would rather really learn at my own pace. I would rather learn at my own pace. I'd rather learn language at my own pace. I mentioned this to in the universal credit appointment a few days ago. I got back in, and they were really encouragement. Yeah, and another friend the other day said it was really encouraging me to go back to university education, and I want to. I really want to. Yeah, in the university credits, and they said something that put me off, and that was, oh, I know other people who have done that, and they're really happy. I don't want to be. I mean, trying to not compare myself with some other people. And what do? They go and compare myself with somebody else. No doubt, they're half my age. They're much wealthier than me. That's the sort of people who go on this course. And they haven't put the years of effort and struggle. You know, it was a struggle. When I was seeing Noriko, it was all the spare money I had went on Noriko. And, just keeping the car going so I can take the car to go and see her. And when I had to give her up because I had no money, that was incredibly upsetting, and it'll never not be upsetting. Because I was going somewhere, I was doing something, I was actually seeing a future for myself. Anyway, I'm just thinking about last night. I'm thinking about how emotional I got. I gave out a couple of CVs in the college because we had companies come around, whether it results in a job or not, or whether I'm going to get contacts or not. And I've started using LinkedIn as well. I've started making some contacts on there, so that seems to be working well. I've been making videos for LinkedIn as well. Started making videos for LinkedIn, another platform to make videos for. So I've talked about there's routes into work. So there's several routes into different work which I could do. There's university course. I mean, I want to do a short teaching course in CavC for Business. That's later this year, on the 17th of November. So I've not got long, a month and a bit. And it's going to cost £450. I don't have £450. I simply don't. I came very close to losing all my money recently. All the ready money I've got, not including savings and investments. So I do have money. Yeah, my current account came really low last month. I mean, my father helped me pay for the car tax. So work would be good. But if I remain unemployed, I can do this teaching course for free. So I could try and remain unemployed for a bit longer. Of course, the teaching course is going to be an incredible, challenge. But that's something I want to do, because it's something I learned before. When I've been talking about my Nihongo and seeing a personal tutor and that, and how I speak, I get really enthusiastic telling other people about it. I get really enthusiastic. Although it doesn't seem like that on the other channel, because I've only got 2 videos on there, haven't I? Because I made another channel for teaching Nihongo, and I'm not in a frame of mind for it right now. I can't switch languages on the fly. I'm going to do it. I mean, I can only do levels 4 and 5 and a bit of 3. I know a lot of the vocabulary of 3. I'm going through the app. But I'm not going to go back to my own personal training until I've done all the level 3 vocabulary. Bits of pan au chocolat on you. But I get really enthusiastic when telling people, at least in my mind anyway. So if I could do a teaching course, I can see whether I can actually do that. I could do this teaching course. So I could do a whole teaching course, or at least try and get an education in teaching course. So that's something else I can do in college. So I could do teaching, but I want to do the language course. I could do both. But then the money you get the loan money you get from the college course, that's not going to be enough to look after my parents and take them places and take my grandmother somewhere. It's not going to cover all that. It's just not. I'm doing this for a YouTube audience, aren't I? Yes. And I'm just getting mixed up sometimes because I make these videos for so many different audiences. I linked to the YouTube channel from LinkedIn last night, but I doubt the audience on LinkedIn are going to watch the channel, because a lot of the audience on LinkedIn, they want just professionalism and positivity, and they don't have a lot of vulnerability or humanity in there or compassion. It's just professional corporate speak. That's all it seems to be all the time. It's so monotonous and boring. Could have done with a bigger coffee, couldn't I? Could do with a bigger coffee. Isn't there hardly anything left in that? So I got a lot of future routes open to me, or I could just get another job, couldn't I? My father, I shouldn't have opened my mouth to my father about my choice for future routes, because my father's attitude is just get a minimum wage job, just get a boring job. It's all my father wants. He says, yeah, the entire concept of having a career or having a fulfilling life is meaningless to my father. Absolutely meaningless to him. Speaking to my father is a drain. I'm trying to be happy and trying to use all the conversation rules and just keeping him enthusiastic, but everything is negative. Everything I try to do is always his reply is always a put down. It's wrong, it's useless, it's stupid, and he's always been the same. I want my father to be proud of me. I want my mother to be proud of me. I want my grandmother to be proud of me. Like I said, my grandmother's 92 years old now. Was it 92? I'm not sure. It's over in the 90s anyway. 91, 92. I've lost all my other grandparents. They haven't seen me. I was really upset when I lost my other grandmother. Because I wanted to see her with a family of my own and a relationship of my own, and nobody has seen that. I always felt I was worthless and useless. No good at anything. I was just happy doing my own thing. I wasn't happy. I was just... Like 2 years ago, I had my job. I had the holidays, and I was looking at buying another car. And my life was going somewhere. I was improving myself, and I was giving myself enough of a stable life that I can start exploring relationships. Because my life was going somewhere. And then just things changed. I need to do another video and to explain to a Facebook video. No, not a Facebook video. A YouTube video explaining things that happened over the last 2 years of my life and what changed my entire life. That's what I need to do. I'm putting that off because there's so many things I can't talk about just in case. It's like things which happened with work. I don't want to jeopardize the possibility of me going back to work, because I want to go back to work in my old job, because that way I can get a stability again. I can start build up to a stable life again, like what I had 2 years ago. Yes, the second. It was the 5th of October. It was the 5th of October when I sat there in Costa. I sat there in Costa. I had my drawing sketchbook book out. I was drawing. And I was drawing someone in particular, someone who was in my head, someone who was filling my heart. And I just come over. I just stopped. And I realised, what am I doing? I recognised the feeling. is limerence again. Or I can't get her out of my mind. And the limerence came, and that realisation that it was limerence came at the right time, because within a week of that happening, my life changed. My life changed. If it wasn't for the limerence, it wasn't for my thoughts and dreams of seeing her one day to talk to her, I wouldn't have got through what happened in my life. So what decisions am I going to make? I haven't done that 3-minute talk yet. Fine. I've just been talking about the other things I want to talk about. So I need to talk about other things. So what do I do? What's the future decision that I do? What path do I go on? What's the right thing to do? I have to take my mother to Tasmania as well, because my mother's got family out there who are unwell and can't travel. My mother needs to meet them. But they just happen to be in northern Tasmania, which means flying out to Sydney, changing flights, which is an 18-hour flight as it is, and then travelling on another few hours to Hobart, then Hobart getting a car, and then travelling about how many hours it is up to the north where there isn't even paved roads, and then trying to meet someone. I got to take my mother, I got to take my disabled mother that far. The money that would take. It'd be a hell of an adventure, wouldn't it? It'd be an amazing adventure, but the money is. So Veritasium, there was a Veritasium video. When was it? Yesterday morning I watched it. 6 degrees of separation. I know a bit of the theory behind that. Yeah, yesterday morning I watched a Veritasium video on 6 degrees of separation. Separation between people, relationships. I was wondering if I can find the number of people separations between me and her. I'm just calling her at the moment, and her is, she means a lot to me. I think I've mentioned her name on these videos anyway. Even though she's in a different city, in a different country, I believe it could be as little as 3. Could be between 3 and 5 degrees of relationship separation between me and her. There's someone in the walking group who just happens to come from the same city, in the same part of the same city as her. Okay? Someone in the walking group. I know this person in the walking group. Chatted a couple of times. I want to go back to the walking group, but I'm not going to the walking group lately because I've been in college, and I didn't go this week because I think I was taking my mother somewhere. I often have to take me other places. I just didn't go to walking group this week, but I got to go back to this walking group. Yeah, so this person in the walking group comes from the same city, and the same part of the same city as her. So, I reckon he's likely to know someone who either knows her or her family. So it could be as little as 3 degrees of separation between us. Anyway, there's the rest of my coffee. Dropping things. I'm going to move the car. were some people sat there, and then like 3 young boys, and they're arguing and shouting, playing music, and I just thought I felt a bit uncomfortable, so I'm going to move. Park by here. Oh, they're gone. You know, I could go back to where I was. The boys are gone. There you go. I just drove around the block for nothing. Right, that was a quick trip around the block, and come back to where I was. Those people who sat there are gone, so I'm going to go out for a walk for a bit. I will stop the video now and just go out for a walk. Okay, we're back. Let's finish off with 3 minutes on a random subject, is it? Subject to talk about, question mark. Trams and streetcars around the world. You could talk to how they're different in places you've been, like Osaka, compared to cities in Europe and the US, and whether you'd like to see more trams in the UK. Oh, I don't know. Would you like me to suggest a few guiding questions? No, it's okay. Thank you, chat. Trams and streetcars. Right. My first thought was the trams in Blackpool, because I was taken to Blackpool and I was like 2-3 years old. There's photographs. So one of my earliest memories. My mother taking me to Blackpool and going on the trams up and down in late at night and at night. I was only 2-3, and going up on the trams, and the old trams. Now in Blackpool they've modernised the trams. They're modern, brand new trams now. The old ones have been distributed across the world. I mean, there's a few in private collections, and there's a couple of them which have gone to San Francisco, and they're actually Blackpool trams working on the tram network in San Francisco. So I got to go to San Francisco, or whatever it's called, just to see these trams. It was amazing. So I got to go see those. Furthermore, this year trams are being reintroduced to Cardiff. They've built a massive depot up at Taffswell. I think that's the tram depot. And the trams they've got in Cardiff are compatible with the rail network, and they've tested them on the railway lines, and they got the similar sort of power requirements from the overhead cables, the catenary wires and cables. And they actually driven these trams on the rail network, and they use standard gauge, but they will have street running eventually. Now we used to have trams, and we used to have electric trolley buses in Cardiff a long time ago. I'm not sure. My grandparents could definitely remember them, but I'm not sure about my parents. And they're going to be introducing that to Cardiff on street running. So I don't think they've started building the rails yet, but they will eventually. But the trams are not, I don't think they're ground level doors. Instead, they'll have higher levels. They'll still have tram platforms, because I think for some reason they're making them compatible with the normal railway infrastructure. So I think that we'll use some of the old, the existing railway infrastructure. What else? They have trams in other cities, but I haven't really, like Osaka, for instance. They have, you got the JR lines, and I had the ticket to travel on the JR lines, but I did go on to Hankyu railways a few times. I never went on Nankai, because these are all private companies with their own railway lines. We had the Nankai as well, which is Nankai Namba. Nankai Namba is the big station in Namba in Osaka, which is where I go to do my shopping, the sort of shopping I like. And so I often go to the station, but I've not actually been on the station or used their trains. Now, there is a smaller private company which has small, very light tram-like trains in Osaka, and they've got stations almost as far north as Namba. Like within walking distance, the zoo. What's the big train station? Tennoji technology. That's right. There's a private company that does small light trams down there from not far from technology. But I've not seen it. I've only seen them on videos and a few pictures. But there's a small, and of course you've got the funiculars as well, and the railways go up. I've been up to Rockayama, and I've been to Mayayama, and I went on the cable car at Suma. Yeah, Suma. You got the Sanyo Sanin was another private railway line I've been on. No, I went on that from Suma because I got off at Suma on the JR lines, and I walked to this other station. Sanyo, was it just Sanyo? Why have I forgotten this? Why have I forgotten? And I went down to the next station down. What's that called? Sumaura. Yamajo Yuen, which is like a play park, a small theme park that's on top of the mountain. And there's got there's like a train station at the bottom. The train station's got a cable car. And you go up there, and then you go up this old car later. Which is like another way of getting out the mountain, which was interesting. Sumaura. I got to go and travel again. I want to travel again, but again, that goes back to my thoughts and my decisions I got to make for the future. It goes back to the decisions I got to make for the future. I need the money to do that. I didn't talk for 3 minutes, did I? I didn't time it. They used to have trams, streetcars, in Philadelphia. I only found this out a couple of days ago. There's an old one in a small museum they got there. I'm going to go and see that. It's the problem with broken teeth. Stuff gets stuck in my tooth, and you can see me when I'm putting my tongue around trying to get stuff out. Or sometimes I've got to stick my fingers in my mouth to try and yank out bits stuck in my tooth. Can't afford it. I just can't afford it. My sister spent so much on rebuilding her teeth, but she did have her face smashed up when she was very young, though, in an accident. My poor sister. Yeah, what would be my dream? So I need to think about these decisions for the future. Education would be nice. I need the money. I got things to do. Because I don't want to be in a position where I regret, where I lose my grandparent and I lose my parents. And I don't want to be in a position where I regret not doing more things with them. Even though the attitude I have, especially of my father, is that he doesn't seem to care. You know, you can't argue. He's doing, because when I talk to him, he's doing what he wants to do, which is sat down in front of a TV, watching sport all day long. And he says it's what he wants to do, which is good enough, I guess. He's doing what he wants to do. But I still want to take my parents out. I want to take my mother around the world. I've got to take my mother to Tasmania. And if I go and spend 4 years in education, there's no guarantee of anything happening at the end of it. Another piece of advice I had from the Universal Credit Advisor was that do everything. Apply for every single job. Try and get your old job back. Apply for education. And just the things which are less convenient or you don't feel like it, just don't do it. So what do I do? What do I do? Maybe I need to make a form. I've written a list in my sketchbook, at the back of my sketchbook, of plans I want to do. I've written a small list on my to-do list, which is on the desktop. So I need to make this formal list of every future plan every future route, and then make a decision of how I'm going to decide what to do. Or do I just try and do everything? I want to do the teaching course in November, which I think would help, because it means it's possible I could even do a teaching course in university and find out what I need to do to do teaching. But if I hate written assessments, I don't want to have to be marking written assessments. Yeah, I don't want to mark written assessments. Oh, I despise written assessments. There's a little Learjet. Old Learjets look so cool with the tip tanks, don't they? There's not many around anymore, but there's one there. It's taken off. Yeah, old Learjets with the tip tanks look absolutely amazing. There's one of the coolest looking. The later ones, when they're bigger and boring with the winglets, but the ones with the tip tanks, yeah, they're cool. Okay, time to go. Time to not. I can always put other thoughts and feelings in another video at another time. I got over an hour and 40 minutes of footage to edit down. Anyway, let's go.